everyone. Welcome to High Vibe Chats with Dee and Lauren. Today is actually the very last one from our 2020, the year of 2020, which has been quite challenging in one way or another. It's full of shifts, turns, growth, and overall, a lot of learning experience, I feel like. So welcome so much. My name is Diana.c.bamford. Everybody calls me Dee. I'm an energy master, ascension channel, and psychic based here in beautiful San Diego, California. And this is the beautiful Lauren.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Anchetta. I help you rest deeply. And I do this through Yoga Nidra, other forms of yoga, and energy work. And I'm based on Oahu, the island of Oahu.
Yes. So from near and far, we're always with you. Definitely wanted to pop in here today. So we have a very special High Vibe Chats today. We're closing up the year. So part of it is we're kind of chatting about what happened to 2020, right? We always have all these expectations or the goals for the new year, and what is the next thing, that we're going to accomplish, or how something is going to look. And this year we all learned that not to expect a lot and sit with ourselves and sit with the discomfort. And actually, when we're in discomfort, there's a lot of growth that shows up from that spot. We had tons of eclipses, and especially this last month, this December, has been extremely potent as we are coming into the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. And there's a lot of important keys as we come to this closing of the year, and the portals are open. So you probably are feeling a lot of things in that body. If you're feeling anxiety, sleep deprivation, vivid dreams, and just you don't know what the heck is going on. Some days, you feel good. Other days, you just wake up feeling not the best. It's completely normal. It's part of the ascension process, which I am going to chat about for a bit, but there is a big 2020 energy upgrade that is occurring right now. So any beginning thoughts, Lauren, as we dive in?
Where to even begin? That's my initial thought. Where to even begin? It's been a hell of a year. It's been a year. I don't think, there's been so many firsts that we've all experienced throughout, in our whole this lifetime, right? So many firsts and so many humbling experiences. There's been a lot of collective mourning, a lot of heavy emotions, heavy experiences. It's been a lot. And it's also been very eye-opening. And as much as we've experienced so many of these feelings and emotions and together collectively, everybody also is having their own individual experience, of course. So I'm feeling all over the place with that. Speaking of December specifically, I have felt that this month, I was feeling for a while, especially starting in November, I'm like, December is going to be big. December is going to be really big, really, really big month. And I didn't know exactly what that meant. And I was getting excited, like it was going to be, just really expansive. And it has been, but it's come with a lot of really high highs for me personally. And then the lows are really low. And there's been much less middle ground. And so I actually posted a little, questionnaire on my Instagram and just asked, I said, explain how I'd been feeling, and that I feel like it's more of a collective thing and not just me personally. And 100% of the people who responded said that, yes, they agree that it's been a lot of very high highs and very low lows, much less middle ground, and that they were feeling very called to let go of specific things, whether that be relationships, And I can't think of the other things right now, but you know, like where you're just like, I need to let go, I need to shed. And of course, we just had a solar eclipse and the new moon, I think on the same day, correct? So that I think just amplified and heightened that energy of really bringing to light, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Like I feel like I kept hearing that over and over in my head. And even if there wasn't something specific, although I think a lot of us felt very specific things were highlighted in our lives, for those who maybe weren't quite picking up on the specifics, I think there was just this overwhelming feeling of like, I need to shed. I need to shed something. I need to let go of something, or just surrendering in general, which I know can be so triggering for a lot of us, is to let go, you know, let go of control. That can be scary. So, but it's needed. Letting go of control and falling into faith, trust of the process, trust of what's happening, trust of what's yet to come. We're being asked that, I think, very strongly right now. And that can be very, you know, it can take us a minute to get there. What about you, Dee?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And one thing that I've seen, not only within myself, but I've seen it a lot with my clients this year, it's the surrender part. It's really learning that surrender does not mean succumbing. Surrender does not mean giving up. Surrender means trusting that there's already a bigger plan in action for all of us, and working through that, and what are the tools, and really realizing that there are tools available for us to help us through this ascension process, as we are, all the energy from the beginning of the year experiencing the pandemic. Your life may have changed in many, many ways. And one of the things that I said at the beginning of all this is like, it's going to happen. Like we're going through this ascension process, and there's two ways you can do this. One, bring it into awareness and be like, okay, I know I'm feeling this way. I'm in discomfort. What does this have to tell me? Let me look at the tools that I have around to support me during this time. Or you can continue to kick and scream and just wish and hope and pray that the world is going to go back to what it was, which very clearly we're never going to go back to that. Mm-hmm. And by seeing that, it allowed me not only to see shifts that I made within my own self, within my life, being home, having children at home, and that dynamic energetically also what shifts, but also with my clients, with partners, with business, in all types of relationships, and really working and allowing yourself to surrender and say, okay, not I give, okay, whatever it is. It's like very conscious, okay, what is it that this is showing me? What is showing up for me at this moment? And a lot of that came in through the pandemic. I recently just had a couple of clients that are in the medical field, and they're just talking about, I just feel like things are not getting better and they're not getting better. And I'm like, okay, we need to also understand, what is your environment? Where are you right now? What is coming in? What is in your energy field at this moment? And how much are you internalizing? Or do you even need to internalize it? Because it's not necessary. A lot of outside circumstances can influence our inner being. And right now we're all being called to focus and pay attention to your higher self. What is my higher self telling me at this moment? Even if it's something that is going to get you uncomfortable, or you just really don't want to see, more than likely is coming up to the surface at this moment. With the moons, the eclipses, and the portals, when we have a full moon, a new moon, eclipse of any kind, and just is really good to pay attention to all these beautiful astrological things have an influence in our lives in one way or another. Either you want it or not, they do have an influence. It just is. But being in awareness of like, okay, during the full moon, I feel more sensitive, or I'm somebody great empath or very sensitive to other energies, and just bringing that into awareness makes a big shift. But why I talk about this is because we are coming up to a very important portal at the 21st coming. The portal is already open. The energy is culminating for this day. And it's not to say like, oh my gosh, everything's coming up, the 21st is going to happen, and I'm going to feel I'm going to go from 3D to 5D, right? Or I'm going to just shift entirely. Not necessarily at all. It may happen from some, but your energy is going to be amplified. And the message, as I've done a lot of downloads this week, this morning, tons of downloads, everything is about your energy and the vibration of your being and allowing the inner being to guide you. So as the portals, when the portals, people talk a lot about portals. When portals open, those are just an opportunity. Take each portal as an opportunity for what is next in my life. And what is next in your life, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a new job. You have to do anything. It can just mean that you may grow much stronger from the solid foundation that you are. And you're just going to continue to solidify that moment in time, allowing new things to come, because right now we are all literally receiving light codes as we speak. So it's, as we're coming to this end of a $800 chain, I call it, right? $800, 800-year chain that we've had, we're really shifting very powerfully. And you will notice this ascension process, like you will notice, and it may be coming to you if you have some resistance. It may be coming in a form of anxiety, of everything is falling apart and going into the pooper right now. And that is just something to bring awareness to. So our emotions right now, any way you're feeling, our emotions are showing us the vibration alignment that we're in. If you're not feeling very well, I bet your vibration is not very high. That's why in other high vibe chats, and even if you watch my YouTube videos, you will see that I always, almost always finish with, I repeat the mantra, the affirmation. I only work and allow high vibrational frequency and energy into my life. I do not entertain or allow or work with any lower vibrational frequency. And the more you dive into it, the more open and receptive you are, and you will see the other side of the coin. You'll see the cup half full rather than half empty, spiraling up rather than spiraling down. Best case scenario versus worst case scenario. So allowing yourself to be in that place of awareness, of receptivity, of bringing in, it's absolutely huge. But a lot of this is just the culmination of the December 21st, which is tremendous. That may have been a lot. But how about you, Lauren, with the 21st portal and just the energy? I just encourage so much for people just to pay attention to that part, right? Of like, how does it feel with the moons or the portals and everything there?
Yeah, no, it's bringing your awareness to your own emotional cycles and what comes up with, the lunar calendar and then these portals. Because this isn't the only portal of the year, right? We've had multiple portals, which is, you think portal, it's sometimes that term itself can be like, what the fuck is a portal? Like, what is it? I think this, like, something's about to walk into my house. That's what I think when I think portal, or somebody's about to disappear. But really, I guess another way to look at it, is just like a really high influx of energy, right? And you may have already mentioned that. And with these high influxes of energy can come so many symptoms, which I know, it's important to just know you're not going crazy. You're not losing it. I think we have a big tendency to slip into the what's wrong with me category, which I understand, because I think I just came out of my own little, shall we call it a dark night of the soul? I don't know. I think so. I came out of my own, a lot of heaviness, shedding of a lot of heaviness recently. And we do have this tendency to automatically think, what's wrong with me? Why am I failing right now? Or, whatever. You go through the whole spiral. And that's also kind of what prompted me to post that questionnaire, to see, like, is it just me? My higher self and all the messages I'm getting, I know it's not, but I kind of want to, like, just test and see, are you feeling this? And then normalizing that, you know, hey, we're all going through a lot right now. This year's been a lot in general, right? So many highs and so many lows, but this, to be gentle with ourselves and to, it's something I teach in yoga all the time, especially in my yin or yoga nidra, is what we tend to do when things come up, whether it be thoughts, memories, emotions, etc., is we typically as humans have the tendency to attach ourselves to those things. And what we want to try to avoid is just that. You want to try to avoid attaching yourself to what's coming up within you, especially right now. Slipping or stepping into the role of the observer is how we do that. And it's almost like, you know, you're stepping into your higher self is how I see it. You're taking a step back from your human, or you're asking your human to step to the side, one of the two. And you're just noticing. And you can even talk to yourself in the third person. Sometimes I think that's helpful. Lauren's having a rough day today. Lauren's feeling a lot of feels, you know, she's real pissed right now. Everybody's making her mad. All right, what's happening? Why is this coming up? And that can actually be helpful, even if it seems a little mental, right? It can be helpful to really step into that role of the observer and just notice, okay, I'm experiencing anxiety right now. Not, oh, I have anxiety. I hear that all the time, and our words are so important. We've had a high vibe chat on the power of our words. Don't own what you don't want to own. You're not your anxiety. You're not your anger. You're not your rage. You're not your depression. You're experiencing that. And it's a valid experience and it's real, but it's an experience, not a part of who you are. And when we can make that separation, then we're able to kind of look at it differently. Like, oh, hello, anxiety. Name it. Hello, Steve. You're here again. Nice to see you. What are you? What messages are you bringing me right now? Why are you showing up right now? And on a personal note, when I was going through my recent, dark night, I found myself doing that. I found myself laying in bed at the end of the night and just thinking, like, what's happening? Talking out loud, whether you are in line with, you have guides and angelic support around you, and you can speak with them. If that doesn't quite vibe with you, just throw it out there and see what comes back to you. What's going on right now? Why am I feeling this intense fill in the blank, whatever it is? Why can't I seem to step out of this anger? Why can't I seem to step away from this sadness? Whatever it may be. And you will be very surprised what's coming back to you. Because I think this process used to take a lot longer. I think this process of trying to tap into like what's happening and waiting for answers used to take a lot longer. And now I feel like the return on what we're asking for, especially when it's coming from the heart space and you're really like your intent is there and it's strong, that return's coming right back around. And I kid you not, as I'm laying in bed and I'm trying to step into the role of the observer and understanding, like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of berating myself. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of, thinking what a crap, whatever I am, because that's not true. But I was stepping away. I'm throwing out the questions. I'm like, all right, let's lift the veil, because the veil is quite thin right now too. What do I need to see? And I had a very clear message come to me like lightning speed about a certain pattern I have been repeating and not understanding why I keep going round and round with this one thing in my personal life, right? It came to me. I sat with it. I was like, oh, okay. I let myself feel what I needed to feel from that. Maybe there were a few tears. That is a release. shake it out, dance it out, move it through the body. The next day, I could feel a shift. Huge shift the next day. And I think, so that was also quite a story. We went a lot of places there too. But so the role of the observer, tying it back, it's such a powerful place because we create these other pointless timelines that are going to take us to a place, but it's not the most direct route. It's like extending your suffering with whatever you're going through when you attach yourself to it and you own it and you go down the victimhoodville road, right? It's just extending that process with it because there's still more to learn. But if you're able to step out of it and be the observer and not attach yourself to what's coming up, it's the express route.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you nailed it with being the observer. It's a must right now in order to not be snowballed and get trapped in everything that's happening. We need to be the observer. We need to take that step back. We need to look at things from the outside, pause, and learn to be more responsive rather than reactive. And one of the things that you mentioned is the attachments. Attachments just bring pain. Attachments, if we're having an attachment to anything and everything, will just bring pain. And I've mentioned this, and I know I may be ruffling some feathers, but I'm like, even to our children, and I have 3. Okay, they are, yes, I gave birth to them. It was hard. But they don't belong to me. They have their own lives. They are going to, create their own persona. But if I attach that this is the way, like I'm going to dictate their lives, and this is the way, you're going to go and this and that, they're just going to pull away from it. And it's going to cause me pain because I'm like, I'm trying to control something that I can't control. And just in life, with everything, any attachment, it's not of your highest benefit at all. No attachment, especially to outcomes. If something didn't go the way you desire, yeah, grieve it if you're like really pissed. But otherwise, begin to wonder, wow, okay, this didn't happen for me. Remember, life happens for you, not to you. We're really stepping away from the victim mentality. If you are constantly or lately, you're like one awful thing after another and after another and after another, it's time to pause. The more that worse things happen in your life, it's trying to show you that you need to pause and pay attention to, okay, what is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that this is trying to tell me? And just allow yourself to be there. Even if it's, I had a client that had several deaths in their family. And it just like, well, how do I answer this, right? He's like, what can you tell me that I'm not looking at, that I'm not paying attention to if I continue to lose loved ones? And the lesson there was the way he was responding, because it's not his responsibility that people's contracts are done and it's their time to process, but the way he was processing them was not of his highest good or of the highest good of the people who were transitioning. And so there's always something to learn, even in what you believe is the deepest of the worst of the worst. There's always something to learn. If you have resistance to it, you're going to continue to make excuses for your limitations. You're just going to continue to excuse it and make reasons for why things are not working out. So continue to defend that and see where that takes you. And unfortunately, when it's the time, you'll know. When it's your time to ascend, there's nobody. I just recently did a post on align your life. There's so many coaches, spiritual leaders, and things like that, like coming at you right now. End of the year specials and do this and do that and coming. And it's like, I am coming into alignment when I'm ready. Abso-freaking-lutely, yes. When I'm ready with the tools that I have, tools that I will see, but not because other tells us that we are wrong, because you're never wrong. You're never broken. There's nothing wrong with you at all. We all grow in different, we all ascend, grow, awaken in different stages. Allow yourself to be where you are. Trust that where you are is where you need to be right now. If it looks really shiny, you're a coach per se. And somebody else's, it's a coach, and there's your friend and they're having fantastic work done, or things are happening for them. If it's too much for you, unfollow them for a second. Don't look at their stuff, but don't compare. And that's one of the things right now that we're stepping away from comparison. We can all shine and be in our light, be in our power, and be strong there. That's what it's part of when Lauren mentioned the portals. Portals are literally just doors, like openings, opportunities. The portal is simply an opportunity, like an energy opportunity for your energy body. We are high vibrational beings living a human experience in a vibrational world, speaking a vibrational language, but we are more energy than anything. When we leave this planet Earth, we leave this outfit that we have, we still live as energy beings. You go to heaven, whatever you want to believe, but we do transition. And believe me, I have clients and friends that are all science, and they do not believe in an afterlife, but they do believe that energy. And what is the really cool part of this, that they're like, I do not believe in transition or heaven or whatever you want to call it. They do believe that when they die, the energy and the body goes into and all of them believe this, goes into earth and charges. Like, it's like, they call it, one of my really good friends calls it, it's like, I become a human fertilizer, an energy fertilizer. So regardless, even from the super scientists, I believe in nothing, they do believe in energy. And they believe that when they pass, their energy just goes into the earth and charges and allows the plants to grow so it can regenerate. So regardless of what you believe, we are energy and we shift. But as energy, you shift in your own moment. You shift when you're ready to shift, not when others are doing it or because something looks shiny. Or, what do they say? The grass always looks greener on the other side. You have the garden too, allowing yourself to be there. But being the observer is mega key right now. It's extremely important to take the time to not react and respond.
And I think that's a really good point you made, Dee, about, well, with this portal in general and with all the portals, I think sometimes, especially when we're newer to, we get this excitement behind it and we think we're going to wake up and all of a sudden, like, everything's going to be different. And I don't want to get your hopes up. Some things can't. I mean, it really depends upon how receptive and how open you are. And there's going to be a lot of people in your life that are still going to be the same old them. It's all affecting us on a certain level, but the amount of receptivity is going to dictate how it affects all of us. It can be a quantum leap, or it can be a little like, boop. Because like you're saying, we all ascend at our own time. We do have choice there. I mean, we're all on the path. We're all moving in that direction at our own speed. So I think that's important to think about this too. Like, this is a shift. This is a huge energy gateway that we can utilize. I know Dee and I are both planning on really just kind of doing our own thing that day and meditating and spending time connecting. If you feel called and inspired to do that too, then great. But doing what feels good, or maybe you don't, and that's fine too. But I think it's important to note that, not to get, it's I don't know. There's a lot of things that are being prophesized and whatnot about this day as well. I don't know.
Yeah. One of the things
blackout.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Like that's from a physical way. There's been lots. People interpret things in their own way. There's a lot of channelers out there. There's a lot of people talking to, their guides and their whoever they get their information from, right? Now the Galactic Federation. I love this. I love that they're mainstream media right now. But energy, spirits, etc., don't necessarily, they don't like communicate in words in English. It's really symbolism. So there is room, a margin of potential error there, especially depending on how clear of a channel the channeler is. If the channeler is not an extremely clear channel, there is much more room for misinterpretation of the symbols that they are receiving. So why I mention this is because it is so important for us to, I think, not get swept up in a lot of the information that we are receiving, especially from other humans right now, and to kind of take it with a grain of salt, or as a grain of salt, however that saying goes. For me, what's been resonating, because there is so much coming in from all kinds of, sources, it's coming back to me and what feels good and right with me, really, really sharpening our own discernment. And if it doesn't feel good, let it go. You don't need to accept it. Just be access denied, like whatever resonates, like no, poop, putting it back. You don't have to accept everything that comes through to you in a message, even with stuff Dee and I say. If you're like, what? Like, nah, let it go. Let it bounce right off of you and head out. And be very weary of anybody who's like, this is the message and I have it and everybody else is wrong. Like, run the other way from that too. Because there's so many different perspectives and there's going to be so much that resonates with others. And if it's true for them, it's true for them. There is not one absolute truth for everyone. There's not, right? Absolutely. So use the discernment.
Oh, absolutely.
Come to you, follow what feels good. And let's not, what I would like to say is, let's not get swept up in fear. Fear of the unknown or fear of what you're hearing or anything like that. Because that just charges the more unfavorable timelines. That, and sometimes things aren't what they seem. So it can look really messy, but perhaps the messiness is the highest timeline because it's breaking through all of the crap that needs to be broken through in order to shed it. Like, I look at it like, energetically speaking, not just for the individual, but for the planet. I mean, this year has been one big energetic wake up, shake up, and purge, because you have to make room for the new by getting rid of the old. It's like I tell my kids, we can't get new toys until we get rid of the old toys. So we got to make room. And it's the same process individually. It's the same process collectively. We have to shed the denser stuff, the density, shed the density. That's been one of my mantras, shed the density, to make room for the new. When you shed energy within you that no longer serves you and you're working with D or I and we're removing energy that is not yours, I personally fill it. We fill it with light. We fill it with, high vibrational energy. Not just going to leave an empty hole, but in order for that energy to come in, you have to shed the old.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so interesting because you just touched, one thing that I wanted to say of like why the portal, right? Like this particular portal is like everybody's like talking about it. So using your discernment is huge, but using the discernment is one of the biggest messages for 2021 that I've gotten, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But using your discernment at this moment, even like Lauren said, just, take it or leave it. If it resonates with you, awesome. If not, don't take it, like even from anybody, because there's so many different people receiving messages in different ways. So trust in yourself. What is coming to you? What is true to you in this moment? It's huge. And, but the discernment, it's just so powerful when you said it, like triggers everything for 2021. And I lost my train of thought. What was the other thing we were just talking about? Oh, the portal. I went back. Sorry. I skipped, but a lot of that is happening. That's part of my ascension process. that this particular portal, why it seems that this year, like everybody's talking. One of the reasons is because a lot of people have awakened more this particular year. So there's a lot of more people curious about what's happening. Like the word portal wouldn't even be in the vocabulary, in their vortex, in their energy fields at the beginning of the year. But as they dive into their own either shadow work or just own work or just looking into their own spiritual growth and personal transformation, these things came into their field. And so more people are an awareness of the portal. And that's why there's like so much more noise, because this portal is open every year. The portal of the 21st is open every year. The conjunction is not. That happened 800 years ago. So that's just, there's just so much happening. Like we got hit with the new moon and the solar eclipse. And then here we have, the the winter solstice, the portal, and the conjunction. So it's just a lot of energy for this particular year, but it was going to happen for 2020. This is it. So that's why one of the things is like, why it seems like this portal is so important. There's going to be more throughout 2021 and so on, but now you're more in awareness of like what they are and how you can utilize their energy. Like one of the most common, if you didn't hear about portals, I bet you at least heard about the Mercury retrogrades and the bad stigma they have, the bad rep of Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, it's going to go retrograde, everything's going to go to crap. No. So how to learn to be grounded, staying grounded through all this process is the best thing you can do for yourself. Staying grounded right now is the best thing you can do. How does that look for you? It can look in different ways. Being very mindful of what you're drinking. A glass of water, I'm drinking a glass of water. Being very present in the moment. Grounding, meditating, moving the body, doing yoga nidra, which is fantastic. Doing some yoga, different types of exercises that will put you in the body to stay grounded. Because when we feel the anxiety, it's out of the body. It's everything else is volatile. Everything else is out here and it's controlling us. And then we just kind of, roll with it. No, it's about being in the body, but not off the body, but staying grounded. Staying grounded, that really focusing on the breath. Just, YouTube has tons of videos on music, meditation, breathing techniques. Find the one that resonates with you. There's so much information on social media. Also, you're following some spiritual gurus or people or just here and there. I bet you they have something for you. And again, just using your discernment on how that looks for you. But it's huge. I kind of want to dive into the message for 2021 for the collective. So there's a couple of things I've been channeling for a while. Definitely this year, my own channeling abilities have heightened times 111. And since this solar eclipse, I am more sensitive to eclipses. And prior to that, it's been a few months that I've been asking to surrender, to continue to be more open. And my connection has really grown exponentially, like tremendously. So the D that I was in the last high vibe chats is not the D that is today at all. And if you work with me recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So one of the things is that all through the day to today, I've been receiving the downloads. I knew that we're going to do this and we're going to come in through the downloads. And I just kind of wanted to channel in a couple of things that you definitely need to know for 2021. I'm just going to tap in again. But even though I have it, they're like, you already know everything, just say it. So let me just connect for a second. So one of the very first thing is the discernment staying on point, notice what feels right and what doesn't. There's going to be a lot of shifts at the beginning of 2021. There's going to be a little bit of like a disturbance, a disruption in the matrix in general, but you may feel it at a personal level. Know that it's not yours. It's simply something. Lauren talked about it earlier about not claiming or owning. Own your power, own, not your problems. So really tapping into what is it that resonates with you. Definitely, especially really, really strong at the beginning of 2021. Another thing, 2021 is not going to be very much different than 2020. Here, like, I know this does not sound like something you want to hear, but it depends on where you are. So it's not going to be very much different in the way that there will still be a lot of things to work through. They're not speaking on behalf of like pandemic. There's going to be, we continue to go through the ascension process. It's not like 2021 hit and everything got cut and 2020 didn't exist and we're brand new era. We are and we aren't at that moment, depending on where you are and what work you've done or you continue to do. And by saying that, I just mean awareness. What you have brought awareness to is highly important. Here is where the discernment is going to come out even way more stronger. You're going to notice some sign. The mainstream media is going to have, they're going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but not even ruffle feathers. They're going to put out information that you're going to believe that it's going to be pertained to you. And it's going to look like it's really real. However, use your discernment, do extra research. Talking about the V, situation which is already being delivered in the world, use your own discernment. Some of you will definitely feel that that is the route and that is okay. And it's going to actually be part of your reprogramming. We're going to go through a lot of reprogramming. We already are in that, but it's going to come much stronger. So 2021 is the year of strength. They're really calling it the year of strength. Allowing yourself to be where you are, the more you surrender into the process, the more you're able to integrate it on such level, because everything that is going to matter in 2021 is going to be the vibration that you have. We are energy beings, and our vibration, our resonance within our own bodies is going to be key for 2022, which is going to be another magnified year. So at the beginning of 2021, there's going to be shifts. Allow yourself to be the observer. Allow yourself to pause. Not notice if you're being more reactive rather than responsive and taking that little bit of a step back. There's going to be, it's really fun. There's going to be a lot of extra dimensional energy. So yeah, aliens, social media is going to put them out as being bad, as being, they're going to feed in between the feeds of like, oh, look, we saw this. And there was this spaceship shown in X place, and in between the line, they're going to try to feed some people certain information that is false. So, do your research internally. Tap into your higher self, tap into the heart, literally tap into the heart and really charge. Working with your heart, huge. But there is going to be a lot of, there's going to be definitely more sightings. They're showing me that. Like Lauren mentioned, the Galactic Federation is going to be shown a lot more. Some of it will be fake news, definitely. So using your discernment is huge. 2021 is the year of strength. Just remember that 2021 is the year of strength. Notice in what side you are and what side you want to be. And when they say that about what side you are, what side be, it's not like, I want to be in the winning side or I want to be in it's not polarizing it at all. Just noticing where you are will bring you into alignment. It will allow that awareness to come in. But if you realize that you're in the Debbie Downer side, boom, you're like, you can shift immediately into the conscious, because the consciousness of the planet is rising. That's what it means with going from 3D to 5D. And this is going to happen. Like, we're rising, but again, kicking and screaming or in full awareness. So allow yourself to take time for yourself, to pause, to nurture, to mother yourself, to love yourself, to dive into yourself. Don't feel that these things, because life is going to look, there's going to be a moment in your life in March where it's going to look like things are going really fast and things are just coming and you have to make decisions. This, or like, it's like little soldiers, like boom, 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 boom. But it's not. You need to, again, step back and be the observer. Live in your strength. Set up healthy boundaries. Allow yourself to be in the boundaries. Allow yourself to really own your boundaries within yourself, especially. Mother yourself. I hear a lot of like, mother. How can you mother yourself? How can you nourish yourself? And how can you bring that awareness? Because once you raise your own vibration, that really radiates in such way that you'll be able to make a positive influence in others for them to go through their own ascension process at a much higher rate. And high vibrational. Allow high vibrational frequency. We are constantly being downloaded with high vibrational light codes at this moment that are currently changing and shifting your DNA strand. Allow the codes to come in. You're going to notice a lot of light codes, a lot of symbols. During the night, messages are going to come through. There's going to be a lot more visions rather than dreams. If you can remember them, if you can smell, taste, and like feel, it's a vision. It's not a dream. A dream is usually something that the body, the mind goes through its physiology, but it doesn't make an impact. A vision will make an impact, and more than likely it's going to make an impact quickly in your life, and you will see results rather quickly. When we come, they come fast. Okay, what else? It's super important to know. Financial abundance is going to change completely. It's completely different. The patriarchy is falling rapidly. They don't like it. They do not like it, and they're going to fight like heck. We're stronger in our numbers. However, if you are not in awareness of the strength that you have, we're not stronger in numbers. So it begins with one. You alone as a unit is what is going to be the most important thing for the collective. To do, for take care of you. Don't be worrying about so-and-so is not awakening. So-and-so is not doing this. My clients are not doing this. Focus in you. Focus in you. If you are on it, you will sustain that energy. One awakened person is way more powerful than 10,000 that are unawakened. So be part of that. Allow yourself of that. The biggest message is stay high in your, this is interesting. They're like, stay high in your hydration. 1. 2, they're like, stay high in your vibration. Find, seek, notice what comes into your field that is going to allow you to come into a much higher vibration. The discernment is huge. And please, please, please do not forget that 2021 is the year of strength. Notice how that feels in your body when you say 2021 is the year of strength. Do not focus on your outside environment. Do not focus on the outside circumstances. Tap within, trust, feel, and ask all the questions that you need to ask. They're all valid. Your emotions will tell you, where are you vibrationally? Where are you in alignment within yourself? Ask all the questions. It's extremely important that you use your discernment, you tap into your higher self, because your higher self is never against you. You're so loved. There's so much love for you. There's so much love and just this high vibrational frequency, this high vibrational energy. I see this complete aura over each and every one of you. It's just like gold and white and just this beautiful, pure source energy, light, just vibrating and opening up the heart portal to such extent that is undeniable. And you cannot ignore it, and you can only see it, and things just gravitate towards you, because you deserve them. With so much love and light, accept, sink in. If it resonates, beautiful. If not, it's not for you right at this timeline. So that is the main message for the collective. For
I love watching you work. That was incredible.
it can go really, really fast. If you ever work with me, it can be a lot sometimes, but it's always from pure source energy, because that's the only source I work with. I call it source. You may call it God. It's the same. It's energy, it's love, and it's high vibrational frequency. So you know what? That 2021 year of strength, they didn't tell me that before. That is now. So 2021 year of strength. I like that. And I feel the plexus strong. So I got all the good chills. Let us know how you're feeling. If any of this resonated with you, we'd love to hear. This is our last High Vibe Chats of 2020. Lauren, like she mentioned before, we're taking off the rest of the year. On Monday, I'm taking the day off. She's taking the day off. And we encourage you all to at least come into a moment of meditation or just stillness and tapping into your higher self.
Yes.
But Lauren, I want to tap into an oracle card. So I'm going to pull a card, and Lauren is going to read it. And this is a card for, let's just see. They're telling me it's like for the it's for the collective. All right. Ooh. There's two. I pulled two. The first one is Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, and look a little deeper, and look at that. The pyramids, and didn't we just have a sighting on the pyramids?
Yeah.
How does that one feel? Do you want me to show you the other one, or do you want to do a little reading on this one first?
I'll do a little reading on that one first,
okay,
so I don't get myself confused.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We are remembering rapidly and are going to continue. So I feel like Hidden Secrets is funny because it's within. It's hidden within. And so the more we're tapping into ourselves, the more we're utilizing this energy that's here to support us, the more we're going to have these aha moments, these deja vu moments, these visions, etc., that are really, that are really just like, I just hear ahas, light bulbs. Yeah. It's going to start to connect. It's going to, you're going to be like, what was that? That was the craziest dream. But like Dee said, like, if it doesn't feel like a dream, if it feels different, maybe it's now is a good time to start a little dream journal, because that can be a time that you will really go on these really incredible journeys. But it's going to be more than a journey. It's going to have messages. So just paying attention and finding everything that's hidden within us. We all have certain things, especially the star seeds that came in here coded within us, like little time bombs waiting to go off at the right time. So pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. It's all within.
I love it. I love it. It is all within. Tapping in. Tapping in. Okay, the second one is you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. You're not alone.
Yes.
Isolation, physical connection, and community.
I think that collectively we are all realizing, if 2020 has taught, one of the things that this year has taught us is the importance of connection. So holding on to that. You're not alone. You're never alone. You have so much support around you always, even if you can't see it. But that there is something to the physical connection and support of those here with you right now in the flesh as well. We all, as human beings, we require this type of connection. But may we get back to that pure connection and what that feels like with us. Put down the phones, put down the technology, and be with one another. I feel like that is going to be something when we all start coming back together, it's going to be huge. I mean, if you think about, I just saw something on this earlier, but the Spanish flu of 1918 or whatever, what came after that? The roaring 20s, right? And people were just wanted to be with each other and at the time party and get dressed up and have fun. And there's going to be an aspect of that to us. Maybe not, I mean, whatever with the party, but like just being together, being with one another, of people of a similar vibration and frequency.
Yeah.
It's going to feel so good and it's so necessary. So just taking that connection, it's sacred. It's sacred connection with one another, and seeing it that way and treating it that way from now on, hopefully.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And at the beginning of, actually in 2019, I had mentioned that 2020 was going to be their year of connection. And a lot of people, then pandemic hit and they're like, that's crazy, Dee. We can't even see each other, but we actually did connect it at a much deeper level. And how many new relationships and meaningful relationships, long lasting years to come relationships, past life connections you've made.
Yeah.
It was the year of connection. It continues to it continued to be the year of connection. This is beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. Well, as we're coming to a close, Lauren, do you have Nidra Saturday? Are you doing Nidra this week?
Nidra Saturday.
Beautiful.
Yes, the 19th. Thank you. Yes, join me for a virtual Nidra. If you have any questions, check out my Instagram or reach out to me on Instagram Messenger. Yes, love to chat more.
Wonderful. And I'm still doing 2021 readings, so kind of what to expect for you personally. This is a personalized experience where I have the opportunity to channel your guides who's in your immediate field, and also channel my own guides where they can tell me where you are, what to expect, how the beginning of the year is going to look. I have very limited openings. I have an opening on Tuesday, the 22nd. I think I have 2 openings, and then I have openings on the 29th, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So, and as I'm going through my own expansion, so with my prices, so 2021, I have a new prices available, but the prices for 2020 are still, it's $99 for probably over an hour reading, and it's super powerful, and we record it and you get to keep it. So let me know if you're interested. It's a lot of fun too. And there's a lot of insight. But thank you again so much for being here. We wish you happy holidays to you and yours, and trust that everything is working out. Like Heather says from Activation Vibrations, everything's working out, best case scenario. And you are where you are because this is where you need to be. 2021 is going to be the year of strength. I'm so stoked about that because I haven't heard that before. They literally just gave it to me now. So it feels really good. And just allow yourself to be. Maybe you can be with loved ones, maybe you can't, but just know that you're there in heart and energy, and that this is not going to last forever. What your current reality, whatever's happening right now in your life, that's your current reality, but it's not your ultimate destination. It's absolutely temporary. And when I say that, for those that is going like, you're like, whoa, what do you mean, Dee? Things are going great. What do you mean it's temporary? More is coming. More wonderful things are coming. And if you're experiencing right now something that is not so great, things are going to get better. It's only going to get better. All right. Any last thoughts from you, Lauren?
No, just clearing out the old, making room for the new. Remember that.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you again. Happy holidays to you all. Please leave us any comments, messages. We love to hear. We love to connect. Just know that all our videos are charged with high vibrational frequencies to support you during your own awakening and ascension process. We love you all so much. Thank you again. And we will see you next year in the year of strength. So, and we can't wait to dive into that, and more channel messages coming through, and just have a beautiful 2021. We love you. Have a good one. Bye.